How long we got suffer too long?
DFCRadio.com.
Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Chefs in the kitchen and they chopping up hydro. The hydro chefs in the building and they rolling up hydro. Hydro's in the kitchen and they cooking it up.
It's Wednesday, 5 o'clock. You know what that means. The kitchen's open. We got another show lined up for you. DFC Radio's Farm to Table Cannabis. Proudly shown on High Times TV. We're going to be up in your ear hole, up in your mouth hole for the next hour or so. What up to the sound man Saint for keeping us sounding good every week.
Hey, what's up?
We got some soundtrack lined up for you. Some of the Saint 562 is going to be playing in the commercial breaks. Go check him out right now. Exactly. And we got a good show lined up with Happy J in the building, CBD chocolate extraordinaire.
Yo.
And, we also got MartyJuana. We're going to be talking about some soil, some sun, and some soul. So shout out to those guys doing it real big up in Northern California. Phone lines are lighting up, 562-653-0707.
Yeah.
We got a magic butter machine to give away. And as always, we like to start off the show with a little bit of news. So, we like to keep you up to date on all the things going on in the world. And we're going to go down to San Diego, where UCSD got $3 million to explore the medicinal values of the cannabis compound CBD. The school scientists will evaluate whether CBD can be safely and effectively used to treat psychosis, rheumatoid arthritis, insomnia, alcohol dependency, anorexia, nervousness, all of that. So the state is giving UC San Diego $3 million to broaden its exploration of the medicinal value of cannabis, particularly the non-psychoactive compound CBD. The money will be split between 5 research projects that will explore whether it is safe and effective to use CBD to treat all those ailments. The work will be carried out by the Center for Medicinal Cannabis Research at UCSD, which is already studying whether CBD can alleviate severe autism in children. So it's a big movement in the right direction there, getting some actual university studies. So CBD is a big trend right now, and that research was made possible by a $4.7 million donation last spring from the Ray and Ty Norda Foundation of Linden, Utah. It's the largest gift of its kind. So shout out to those folks that believe in CBD enough to make that kind of a donation to further the research. Now we're going to slide on up to the nation's capital. Gavin Newsom has handed a big win to the cannabis industry over the weekend when he signed a law allowing marijuana businesses to claim state tax deductions. It's one of 8 laws he signed in the closing weeks of the legislation year, aimed at the fine-tuning of 2016's ballot initiative that passed legalization for cannabis, and it's helping state-registered marijuana companies compete with black market dealers. Yeah, we know a couple of those guys. California's burgeoning legal cannabis industry has plenty of advocates, and it has advantages over attracting customers with storefronts and state-mandated health testing that provides buyers some insurance that products are safe. That sounds like a politician speaking right there. But sounds like there's going to be some opportunities there to be able to lower your cost per production. So the white market needs to be able to take some cannabis tax deductions. So, and then cannabis testing, cannabis companies, this also was signed in. Cannabis companies will now be permitted to retest their product to correct for monitor errors and minor errors under the law signed by Newsom. So previously, cannabis samples had to either be remediated or destroyed if they failed the lab testing. But now you're going to be able to go back for a second chance.
Nice. Nice.
I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm worried about that. Like, once it failed and then they get another chance to go back and correct that mistake on that one product, does it work like that? This oil was clean, or this oil is not clean. Oh, well, let me go back and clean it and retest it real quick.
Right into the charcoal filter.
Are we good now, Chad?
Yeah, I don't think the pesticides are in there anymore.
And then we're gonna go. Oh, introduce yourself too, because you're sitting over there in the dark.
Jordan, what's good?
We got Jord Dabs for all you DFZ radio listeners. He just slid in here as a co-host with the mostest. If you show up at the right time, you might just be online eating some CBD chocolate.
That's right. It tastes really good too.
So
Great
we're gonna slide up to Boston, where Robert Kraft's company is going to be partnering with Gronk CBD company. So now you can get hand jobs and CBD.
Oh, your favorite.
I'm just joking. But they are teaming up. Robert Kraft is bringing Gronk back to Foxborough to hawk medical pot. And the Patriots owner will be partnering with Rob Gronkowski's CBD company. And the superstar's former tight end will hold a press conference October 24th to announce his partnership with Robert Kraft's company. Ever since Robert Kraft went to the fucking Rub-A-Tug, it just seems like his stock's gone up. Like companies want to be more involved with him now.
Maybe they like it too.
They're like,
waiting on the sex tape.
They're like, that guy knows a good product,
right?
You know. Robert Kraft coming to your next CBD massage parlor near you.
Damn.
And then we got to keep it out of this world sometimes too. And this relates into the world of podcast news. NASA said that they paid SpaceX for the safety review after Elon Musk smoked pot on Joe Rogan's podcast. Elon Musk's infamous pot smoking incident last year prompted NASA to order a mandatory review of the federal contractor's workplace culture. But taxpayers, not the company, are bearing the cost, according to the contracting reviews. So they say NASA had to pay for that, not SpaceX, which is us. We're the taxpayers.
Nice.
We pay NASA's salary.
Yeah. So,
all right, Elon, hurry up with that fucking speed rail. Get the goddamn LA traffic congestion figured out.
Please.
So we got a good show. We're the only show offering you, news, edible reviews, interviews with the top brands in the industry, and we got a good show lined up for you today. I'd like to introduce the guest this evening, Jeremy.
Hello.
CBD Chocolate, Happy J's CBD. And, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. We're going to take a phone call, and then we're going to get along with a quick call-in from MartyJuana. And, we're going to finish up this CBD review. So, Farm to Table Cannabis, DFZRadio.com.
She's trying to roll, can't roll a split for life. Said, truth be told, I said good morning to you. What's up? It's coffee in the kitchen. Pour me a cup. Two sugars and a wake and bake. 2 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 sugars and a wake and bake.
2 sugars and a wake and bake. I stuff the joint with my shoelace. I'm on the grind straight making cake. I smoke some, digging my mind straight. A good look, I can forget your face. I really want you to come through my place. You sent a text and said I'm on my way. Getting late, I think that you should stay. 2 sugars and a wake and bake, but this time it's the very next day. From my window you can see the whole bay. They can't do it like me, no way. 3's up for that HBK, and it's rich city, nigga, not V8, where we need our money on time, not late, and we on the grind like every day. So it's 2 sugars and a wake and bake. That's what helps me relax my mind. Everything in slow motion, happening in due time. You not about that life, man, you lying. Right stuff alright, my mind is on Zion. I be so high, touch clouds as I'm climbing. 30,000 feet, yeah, that's my climate.
2 sugars and a wake and bake. 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 2 sugars and a wake and bake.
I smoke 2 joints to the face. I love the way it tastes. Man, I'm on. I blow OG and lemon tree. The joints on me, and it's too damn strong. Look, I don't really share, and I don't really care if it smell like weed when I put it in the air. I'm a California bear, West Coast cure. Fresh wax joint got me stuck on the chair. My stash look mean, my glass so clean. Roll big joints, white ash only. Yeah, me and Sue get stoned and laugh. And the S-Class Benz on hash. Plant a seed, let the weed grow. Hit the crowd, burn an ounce up. I'm on diesel, I'm in NY. Boy, I been high. In the club with 24 pre-rolls. Oh my, don't blow my high. Me and Kylie both know why. The good herb, why I need to be free. So vote legal in 216. Wake up and take a hit like me. 2 sugars and black coffee. Yeah, I get stoned in the AM. Fuck the club, roll up and stay in.
Two sugars and a wake and bake. 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 Two sugars and a wake and bake.
DFCRadio.com.
Hi, and welcome to Non-Specific Hydro.
Yeah, hey, I have a buddy of mine that was telling me about a great additive.
Okay, do you remember the name?
Yeah, his name's Steve. He's a good buddy.
No, the product.
No, he told me it was a super concentrated organic enhancer. Comes in a yellow bottle.
Well, it sounds like he's talking about Floralicious Plus from General Hydroponics.
I don't think that was the name, but he also told me it was a vegan bioplant stimulator that contained vitamins, plant sugars, amino acids, seaweed extract.
Yeah, that would be General Hydroponics Floralicious Plus.
I don't think that's it, man. He told me it was something like Dora Vicious Flush or something, and he said it was like an organic supplement that could also be used in vegging or flowering, and it was compatible with hydro soil and cocoa.
Yes, that would be General Hydroponics Floralicious Plus.
Oh, hey, man, I just remembered what it's called. It's Floralicious Plus.
Oh, good. I was drawing a blank.
Floralicious Plus from General Hydroponics. Ask for it by name.
DFCRadio.com.
All right, we're back. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis, all up in the radio mix. So we got an interview lined up with a unique people doing it for all the right reasons. This is an opportunity for you to sit back and learn something. I've been doing traveling for a minute, and I get to see some indoor grows, outdoor grows, and everybody has a story, and it just this one jumped out to me. So MartyJuana is out of Northern California, and we're going to bring them on, and we're going to talk about everything they do to bring their own unique, take on this cannabis industry. So without further ado,
Hey.
I'd like to introduce Marty Klein from MartyJuana.
Thank you. How you guys doing tonight?
So good, man. It's a big DFZ Radio welcome as your first time on the show, so we're very glad you were able to make some time for us. We know it's a busy time of year for you up there.
For sure.
So, I mean, right out the rip, dude, the uniqueness of what you guys are doing. You advertise yourself as the the Northern California's outdoor sustainable start to finish, working with natural seasonal rhythmic flows. So right out the rigs, you guys have a touch with one of the plant in the environment. So a lot of people they like to start up a project or maybe move somewhere and start their cannabis grow, but you guys are actually from the geographical location. So I'd like to talk about what it goes into your area and growing cannabis and everything that goes into the culture up there.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. We are seasonal farmers, and we follow the seasonal cycles. So we plant our seeds in spring and harvest in fall. We don't do any light depth on our farm. We don't do any indoor, no greenhouse. We focus on full spectrum, full season, seed-grown cannabis.
And now this comes from the land. This comes from the dirt. Now, when it comes to some of the strains that you're working with, are these strains that you've selected, or are these strains that you're sourcing?
It's a great question. This year was the first year we used some sourced seeds from Mendocino Seeds. Somebody actually in our neighborhood. We're in East Mendocino County, a place called Cobolo, Round Valley. So we sourced some seeds from Mendocino Seeds this year, friend our Jerry Munn, and we used some strawberry space Skittles, and we used some Covelo Kush this year, and Covelo Reserve, which is the Covelo Kush cross with the Black Lime Reserve. All seeded plants, by the way. We don't use any clones. So we like that symbiotic relationship between the male and female plants that they have in spring before we sex out the females and plant them in their larger spots and, pull the males out. And
what you get when you
definitely do some pollinating and create our own seed as well. But this year we wanted to kind of bring the community together and use some seeds from a local seed company.
So when you're doing that and you're being selective like that, you're helping enhance the natural characteristics of the plant in a different way other than selecting just with like clones. So that's a unique way to do it, and you're also getting a lot more different expressions, I'm sure, in your terpene and your oil profiles. Now, are you guys in? You said it's full spectrum. Now you're doing extract as well as flower, or is this predominantly a flower grow?
It's strictly outdoor. When I say full spectrum, I'm referring to the cannabinoid spectrum and the THC spectrums that we get from being in the full outdoors. So we actually do some extracts as well and hashes and things like that. But I was referring to just being in the sun and having the full spectrum of cannabinoids that are produced from the sun that you can't recreate with indoor or greenhouse. Our plants are actually in nature, in the ground, so it's pretty exciting, pretty awesome.
A lot of the gardeners listening right now, they'll testify to this, that when you grow a plant outdoor, it's just a different beast. You're getting a lot more different oils and resins. The plant, the THC, it's a defense mechanism that the plant has to protect itself from the mother nature, from the sun, from insects. And when you put it in the right environment, and you've got plants that are native to this geographical location. They've had several generations where they've grown here, they've thrived here, they were picked for specific characteristics and traits. Now, when you put them in the sun that they grew up in, that just boosts that natural effectiveness that those traits already have. So we salute you.
They fight off molds and mildews and pests a whole lot better than clones do. Their exoskeleton is definitely stronger. It's harder for the aphids and the mites to actually get into the stalk of the plant. Seeded plants are just healthier, especially if you're using a G1 or G2, meaning a fresh seed that has fresh protein strains and fresh amino strains. It's a seed that's not been sitting in the back of your drawer somewhere for 10 years.
Right.
You're using a fresh seed that's been stored in your wine cellar next to your wine and things like that.
And humidity-controlled seed spots like that for people, they don't realize how crucial it is. If that genetics means that much to you, then protect it as such. Let's talk about something that goes into starting this farm, because we all come from a world of blacked out windows and backyard gardens, and this was a culture for you. This wasn't something that you just fell into, I imagine.
Well, actually, that's a great question. I appreciate you asking. My wife and I were cannabis refugees from Florida, and we were pursuing the cleanest cannabis. And when you were in Florida, you never knew really what you were getting. It was Jamaican, it was Mexican,
it was imported a lot of the time,
It didn't have seeds. And every once in a while, my friend, you would get this bag, and someone would say, "Hey, man, this is Northern California skunk bud, or this is Northern California haze," and you would open it, and there would be no seeds in it. There would be these big, hard, dense buds that would just smell the whole room up. And my wife and I were like, "That's where we want to go. We want to be a part of that, and we want to grow medicinal flowers."
That's enough to make you want to move to California.
So I grow first and foremost for my wife. She's patient number 1, and I'm patient number 2. And this is a medicinal flower, and we treat these plants with respect. One of the sayings that MartyJuana has and that we teach is every plant, every day. And what that means is when you're in a farm with 125 plants or 150 plants, you should be able to walk that garden every day and circle every plant every day and give that plant attention and talk to it and pull the leaves and look for these anomalies before they kind of take off.
That's the difference between what you can get
color discoloration or leaf curling or things like that. You get on it right away. So every plant every day is one of our mottos when you deal with sun-grown plants, because problems can actually occur quickly and take off quickly. So you got to kind of nip it in the bud, to use a funny pun.
And I was just gonna say too, because like that's what separates you from some of the other guys is you actually spend the time to make it craft. All right, like I mean, you got to call it craft cannabis because you do spend that much time with it, but you're just doing it on a bigger level, you know. And
Correct.
Now, one of the other things is on a bigger level, it's never easy to introduce bioorganics, a good strong soil philosophy, IPM stuff. So how are you able to maintain that in an outdoor situation? And, you know, what are you for the soil, what are you doing to build a good organic base down there?
Thank you. Yeah, we have hard clay in Mendo, and what we've been doing is we're above ground in grow bags, and on the bottom of that bag we cut out a hole so the taproot could actually get into the native soil. And what we do is we top dress with organic and biodynamic soils and amendments. So we're actually, you know, regenerating a nicer and a better runoff than we are, you know, than most farms are. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like we're kind of giving more to the planet than we are taking from it by adding these things.
And introducing
and
it to that.
To the IPM, integrated pest management is very important, and I wish more agriculture would actually move in that direction, where you're planting, you're doing companion planting, you're planting food and flowers in and around your garden, and you're also putting out ladybugs on the full moon. You're treating your soils in the ground with nematodes to remove any of the mite larvae or the mite eggs or the aphid eggs that might be in there. You know, you put out Gallindromes occidentalis with our predatory mites, which you could buy now in the open market, and it becomes a whole part of it. You know, like we're a no-spray farm, we're a non-GMO farm, we're a non-fertilizer farm. So, you know, we have to really maintain this, or we could have problems. And, you know, we're in East Mendo, so we have less molds and mildews because we're drier inland than some of our friends that are on the coastal areas in southern Humboldt. They deal with more of that coastal fog that comes in. We're out towards the national forest in Mendocino, so it's an amazing farm. And if you ever get a chance to get up into Mendo, you should definitely come out and take a look, man.
Yeah, you know what? I'd love to see some of that Mendocino clay again, man. That's one of the beautiful, rememberable things. It's just got this different tint to it, all right? And you mentioned you let your plants actually tap into that clay. And a lot of people, you know, they say that the clay for the cannabis, you know, it's got properties. It's got beneficial properties. A lot of people will go into it like in a spiritual level, but dude, there's like 16 different minerals and trace elements and stuff that those plants can tap into. So when he says there's clay below it, that's not just for like a runoff purpose for something like that. He's allowing his plants to pick up the minerals that he wants without having to super boost it with, you know, maybe a fertilizer or something else that's not organic.
I want to try it. You sold me.
So, you know, I'm always a big firm believer in, you know, using the organics and doing it properly, but there's a great way to do the best of both worlds, right? So synthetic and organic, you know, there's definitely a great way to do it organically, and the way he's doing it is promoting it as organic, you know, so that's the big difference between.
And every 2 weeks we do a compost tea. We use Malibu compost. It's the only Demeter certified, which is a biodynamic certified compost. So we're constantly feeding our soil. We top dress every 2 or 3 days with there's a company in Sonoma County called Green Grow. We use their dry fertilizer.
Oh, shout out to Green Grow, Jesse and those guys. Those guys are real good people.
Yeah, real good people. They put out a really good product, and we want to be a part of what's going on around here. So being able to use the local companies is important and stuff too.
Yeah, so that's it. Buy local, shop local, and you know, I'm sure you do a lot in the community too, and you probably don't get to talk about it as much because this this industry we don't really brag about that. But when someone like me asks you, you know, what kind of community outreach are you doing?
Thank you.
Be proud of that, because you know, there used to be a time where we used to have to not be able to talk about things. We used to have you know, a secret everything. But, you know, who you work with, if you can talk about it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We just started the Round Valley Cannabis Co-op. I'm a founder of that cooperative, and I'm a board member on that cooperative. So we're trying to bring the community together. You know, we're already together because we've known each other for so long, and we've worked together in the business for so long, but we're trying to come together as small farms here in Mendocino. We all just have quarter-acre or small farms, so we're trying to aggregate our buying powers and come together and be able to, talk about what's going on at our farms and some of the issues that we're dealing with. Maybe we could buy, 50,000 ladybugs rather than 5,000 ladybugs. Those types of things are very important. So I'm also communicating with distributors to not just sell my own farm material, but also be able to sell the Round Valley Cannabis Co-op material and try to get those distributors to begin to sell the idea of, what Mendo's about, and teach them, bring them up to the farm, sit with them, have lunch, talk to them about the culture up here, and, how we've come out of the woods literally to create these businesses. My wife and I just kind of went on Instagram about a year ago because, we didn't want to tell people who we are and where we were at for so long. We were like, kind of trying to hide it to a certain extent. And now we feel comfortable with coming out and saying, hey, we're in Mendo, we're in the Emerald Triangle, we're in Covelo, and we tell people about where we're at. We want people to know that we grow the best cannabis in the world up here. We got great genetics and we got great farmers, and it's guys like you that want to hear from us and be able to tell that story that's helping, because I get my product out all over California, and when people experience it by opening that eighth jar, or the half-gram bag, or the half-ounce bag, and that creates the customer. And once they could consume that cannabis and feel the high and understand the story behind it, it's like the full picture.
And
Kinda
taste
like
the earthiness from the clay of Mendocino.
Out of Napa or Sonoma
It
Valley.
is a big
and just
difference, too.
Really experiencing the terroir where those grapes grow, or where the cannabis grows, and that's what we're trying to do, is tell that story. And we also have a saying that we're planted by the moon with sun, soil, and soul. Soul meaning SOUL. So you kind of, you put your, heart into it, you put love into it, and then you get love back by the plant producing these bodacious, beautiful, tasty buds. And that's what we want to share with California and eventually the United States. So, as we able to break down these state walls, we could begin to sell our cannabis more as this specialty, because we're one of the few counties in California that's even allowed to grow sun-grown cannabis. So, it's pretty exciting to be up here and be a part of this. And, we are struggling with the regulatory process. We have a lot of hoops we got to jump through and obstacles we got to get around.
I mean, it's bureaucracy at its
comfortable
finest.
With our lawyers and our consultants and the people we have around us to help us through this process, because we want to present our product to the marketplace.
And that's the thing that separates you from the old school. And a lot of people are still doing it old school, and it's time to be proud of what you do, make a living out of it. Because I say this all the time, people like you were told you couldn't make a career out of this, and look at them now. You're doing it, and other people aren't. So from
10 years ago, if we would have sat down and had a beer together, this is really not where I thought I'd be, if you know what I mean. But I feel comfortable with the decisions we made and where we're at. And, our distributors love our product. They come up to the farm and, they can't believe, what we're presenting to them. It makes their job a whole lot easier when they go out into the retailers and sell the product, and, they get the phone call back, hey, where's the MartyJuana? We need some more of that in stock. And this year we're going to be, pushing our product a little further down south into your neck of the woods and trying to break into that LA market, because
we need some sun grown.
They really don't understand what's going on up here with this sun grown. And you sit down and smoke a Covelo Reserve and you're high for hours, dude. And we want to be able to get that to people. Let them experience that full spectrum high. And I always use that full spectrum because it's just different and unique. I mean, some of the indoor definitely tastes really good, but I find that it doesn't have legs like a really good Chardonnay or a really good Cabernet. It doesn't have that length of taste or flavor. It's really quick and done for me, at least my experience. So the sun-grown just has a little more body to it, a little more texture to it.
It brings out the natural characteristics. Yeah,
that's too much sauce.
It lets the plant be what it was supposed to be.
Correct.
So then, Marty, you're doing it for the right reasons. You give our respect to Laura, man. We really, really salute you for what you guys are doing in this homegrown, outdoor, under the sun, true craft cannabis. So if you want to check them out, you can follow them at MartyJuana Farms, and that's MartyJuana Farms. And you can check them out online at MartyJuana Farms or MartyJuana.com. And man, go check them out on Instagram. These guys are doing it for real. And from the black market to the white market to the fucking to the nationwide market, man.
That's right.
Well done to you for real. All right, Marty.
Thanks.
You come
I'm
on
gonna be in Long Beach in December. I should definitely look up you guys, and we should get together and have a beer or something, hang out and smoke a fatty. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Let's get you in studio for that fatty. We're gonna burn it down with some sun-grown. That's what's up.
Done.
We have a fax machine, it turns out. Holy shit.
I'll see you guys later. Thanks for the
Thanks,
call,
Marty.
man. I appreciate you reaching out to us.
Always, man. All right, and we're going to take a phone call, too. Big shout out to Marty. Who we got calling in right now? Dan from Oakland?
Hi there.
Daniel from Oakland. How goes it, my brother?
Good. I had a quick question regarding sativa dominant strains within canna butter.
Okay.
Does it really leave a big difference in comparison to having an indica strain where it would be pretty pretty?
So here's one thing
sedative?
I've noticed when eating cannabis. All right, you never hear someone say like, "Is this edible sativa or indica?" Because it's just the way your body metabolizes cannabis once it's decarboxylated. I'm not convinced strain matters as much for edibles as it does for smoking. I really, really don't. Potency, yes, like other strains are just going to be more potent than others, but I'm not sure that the whole indica sativa argument comes into effect when you're using edibles. I mean, that's just my opinion. I just cook with cannabis for a living, and I haven't really noticed any, big difference from cooking with an OG to cooking with a Blue Dream. That's
Gotcha.
other than potency.
That was my main concern as far as trying to get around making food less sedative and more of a upper, but I didn't think it'd be possible from my experience as well.
Dude, there is not a cannabis edible out there that I know of that's gonna make you want to go on a fucking hike.
No.
It just doesn't exist yet. And the day we find that strain, we're like, damn, I ate this brownie in full. I just wanted to go fucking running.
It was like a pre-workout.
I wanted to but smoking is different. I mean, you ask how many athletes out there smoke and just hit that workout extra hard for some reason.
Yeah.
It's something about in your brain. It's that little give you that little extra push, but also great for recovery, right?
Yeah.
But hey, dude, that's a really good question, and because you got such a good question, my dude, I'm gonna hook you up with a magic butter machine.
Oh my goodness, man! I appreciate. To be honest, I look up to your page because I want to start my own company out here in Oakland, and I want to have it'll be called D's Think Culture Cuisine, and therefore this will be super integral to making that be manifested. So I really appreciate.
Were you the one saying that you were just about to graduate culinary school?
Oh no, that's not me.
Okay.
I'm still in college but yeah, that's all I'm going for right now.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Hard knock it, make it happen, dude. Send me your address so I can come eat all your food and send you a magic butter machine.
I appreciate you. Got you.
Fuck yeah, buddy. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Farm to Table Cannabis to everyone else calling from Oakland. We're gonna come back and talk to you in a minute. Oakland's live tonight. Shout out to the 510. Big ups to the fucking to the town. All right then, Daniel, man, keep it real, bro. Farm to Table Cannabis. We'll be back. We're going to play some music. 562-653-0707. Speaking of 562, this is The Saint 562 with California with Baby Eazy-E.
Yeah, shout out to Oakland. Shout out to all of California. Let's go.
7-7 L code, riding down the west coast. Candy paint dripping cause I just got a fresh coat. California raised me, an LA baby. The Chevrolet raisin, scraping on Dayton's, riding down Rosecrans. Get with the program, call me the drone man, the hydros potens. Got your eyes low, lower than the ocean. Just west coasting through the coast with the potion and the best dro to smoke. The baddest bitches, girls in bikinis with ass and titties. The hustle game easy, you just can't believe till you see me on TV. Drive down the wrong street, might see the tech smoke. Hop in the ride and let's go to the west coast. This life is like a movie. You meet a model bitch, then you fuck her like a groovy. California, 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 yeah, the county of LA.
nigga, same flow, same mind frame. I'm all about the loot cheap. Fuck minimum wage, cruising through these Cali streets, smoking on this OG. Cash rules everything around me, I need more cream. West Coast, get it in. What the fuck you think? Saying I'm riding with you, really though, this money in the bank. E3 hotter than the California forecast. Burning up these tracks, nigga, I need more cash. Yeah, I'm a bona fide hustler. Fuck with my family or cash and I'ma cut ya. Real G's get it, that's only the obvious. Go against us, you know you facing the consequence. I love my state, but I really hate the politics. Better keep stepping, buddy boy, in a pile of shit. Yeah, in a pile of shit. E3, get it in, nigga, I'm live as shit. 3, 2, 1.
Me and Mary J. As the world keeps spinning, like gold 100 spokes, engine running, Chevy gunning down the coast. Just let it roll. Who doesn't love to see a 6-4 hop down the block, banging Easy E and Pac? Motherfuck the cops. I drove in my ride, but I ain't even tripping. It's another summer night and I'm about to get the dipping. It's California A, got some beautiful women. Gotta see it for yourself, it's such a beautiful vision. Palm trees, palm weed, won't you ride with me? West Coast in, floating through these Cali streets. Cruising down the boulevard in the late night. Sunset to the daylight, we take flight. Lights, camera, action, fast cars and jewelry. Models and groupies, we film in a movie. It's a motion picture, everybody's a celebrity. Won't you take a picture? It's a motion picture, everybody's a celebrity. Won't you take a picture? Latin girls, Asians, black girls, Jamaicans, white girls, they all on vacation. Pop another bottle, yeah, we buy 'em by the case and we spitting big face.
All right, we're back. That was California from the Saint 562.
Yeah, make sure you pick that up or stream it on your any platform.
Every platform. All up in your ear hole.
The Saint 562. THESAINT 562.
Spell it right.
Introducing the guest of the evening. We've got Jeremy from Happy J CBD.
Hey.
And CBD is a fucking phenomenon right now. It is like seriously become one of the most culturally used words, search terms on Google. I mean, it's stupid now. And somehow we're supposed to make sense of all this mix. And lucky for us, we've got Jeremy here with Happy J CBD to do it. He is the founder and producer of these wonderful chocolate bars. And they're vegan chocolate bars too, correct?
Yes, sir.
So welcome, Jeremy, from Happy J CBD.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, your first time coming on, man. I know it's fun to do these things, but it's always a little intimidating. So thank you for coming in and watching us get lit.
Hey, you guys are awesome.
So, dude, right out the rip, vegan chocolate. I mean, as a chef, it never occurred to me before that vegan people don't eat chocolate. I was like, holy shit, yeah, the milk's a fucking problem, huh?
For a lot of people.
And not only that, a lot of people are lactose intolerant.
Right.
So how do you make it? How do you make this happen?
Well, we have a proprietary blend that basically, the chocolate that we import is very special. We import it from Belgium.
Nah.
And it already comes vegan as well.
That's nice. That's a huge selling point. So, I mean, a lot of people are using, let's be honest, they're going and picking up chips from Costco. They're tempering their chocolate, and people don't know tempering. That's when you're melting it down at the correct temperature so you get the right consistency and not those sugar crystals in there. But they're making this shit out of mass bought chocolate. You're sourcing your own ingredients. That's the difference between, you know, just buying some shit at the store and sourcing your own ingredients. So Belgium chocolate, and if people don't know Belgium, they are the chocoletiers. I mean, for generations and generations, I won't want to say they invented chocolate, but they invented chocolate.
Like, well, they do it so nice and perfectly smooth and sweet that, you know, we had to emulate that as our starting brand.
So the first thing right out the rip is, how did you choose what percentage blend to go with?
Well, basically, I wanted a dark chocolate for the health benefits as well as something sweet. So we went with the the sweetest dark chocolate blend that we could find and that we could conjure up. And yeah, it has just the perfect blend before dark chocolate gets too bitter.
Yeah, so silky, not milk chocolatey, but still you've got that almost like that cherry bittersweet, but in a
little coffee-ish almost.
Okay, nice description there. What's nice about dark chocolate is it pairs well with a lot of things.
Red wine's the best.
Right out the rip, I noticed like these bars are set up so that you can use them. They're not. This isn't not that you frown upon it, but this isn't something you're just going to open a bar and send to your aunt and have her eat the chocolate. You're going to tell her to make something out of this. This is something that's good for baking and eating. Is that safe to assume?
A lot of people I've seen use it and put it in their coffee.
Wow.
Or else they melt it on like some ice cream or something. But the chocolate is so good, I just suggest to eat it by itself and possibly pair it with some wine or else some smoke.
Okay.
That's always a good one.
One of my favorite things to do is to smoke chocolate. You know, a lot of people don't think about that. Well, you know, you take, you know, like the little sugar cube and you light the sugar cube on fire, put it in the glass with the smoke, and, you know, let your chocolate get a little smoky.
Stab it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've never tried that, actually.
Chocolate dab.
So when I see your chocolate, that's what I think. And, you know, this is a relatively new company. How long have you been around?
We've been around for 2 years, but we've been making chocolate for about 5 years. We used to have a collective in Woodland Hills. And we used to have the best chocolates there. We literally had doctors and surgeons coming to buy all of our inventory.
Because they knew what it could do for their patients.
Well, they said that we had the best blend. And so I just stayed with that same blend that we always use.
Because doctors were always selling that dark chocolate in like the late,
Well, all around, dark chocolate has its own benefits as well.
So let's talk about that. Before we talk about the CBD benefits, like what is dark chocolate known for?
Oh, my God. For
antioxidants, I guess.
Antioxidants, helps you age well, it's great for the skin, great for the heart. There's a list goes on and on.
That was the curveball question I said I wasn't going to throw you, but I think it's just so interesting that chocolate is actually so medically beneficial. Now, when you get into some of the CBD benefits, now we don't make claims on products in the CBD industry because we already know that's a no-no. It's hard enough to do business.
It helps with a lot of things.
Yeah. So, but let's break it down. Like, if CBD was known for alleviating some symptoms, and you know, it helps with certain things, what are some of the things that CBD can help with?
Anxiety. It helps a lot with anxiety.
Okay.
A lot with depression, inflammation, arthritis, migraines, aches and pains from your back to your ankles to
anti-inflammatory.
A lot of people have foot pain, so it's great for that. CBD is just the all-around natural. That you can't Google something in CBD benefit and it won't come up.
Yeah. So I mean, there's so many things being sold about the CBD and its beneficial properties, yet we're not allowed to make any claims like that on the food. It's a unique world we're in right now. So all the hurdles that goes into starting a company in this industry and in the CBD industry as well. You know, what kind of recommendations would you give someone trying to start a company? You know, after seeing some of the hurdles, and you know, what are some of the hurdles you've had to overcome?
A lot of the hurdles I've had to overcome. I started in the THC industry, so evolving from that into the CBD realm, everything's been a lot easier. The THC industry is a lot more regulated. The CBD industry is just starting out, so I would just, as some advice, I would just make sure to get all your web marketing and a lot of your marketing up going first before anything, before spending too much money on promoting your brand as far as locally or anything like that.
Get your ducks in a row first.
Get your ducks in a row because the CBD market is a lot broader of an area that you can touch.
Well, now with the CBD, you can ship your products?
Yeah. Well, we have stores all the way out in New Jersey, Florida, Texas.
So anyone
Ohio.
listening, if they want to pick up some Happy J's, what's your website?
www.happyjs.co or happyjsedibles.com.
Now, it's really hard for CBD companies to do business right now. because of banking transactions and credit card authorizations and stuff like that. How do you navigate that side of things? Like, are you able to take anything other than cash, or are you able to run payments online? Like,
no, it's starting to open up, actually. I don't want to put any of the
no free
processors on blast.
Yeah, nobody gets any free press tonight.
but yes, it is starting to open up, and a lot of the major processors are starting to allow it slowly but surely. Some of the commercial ones, the online ones, they're still frowning on it, but there are processors going out there, so companies, don't be worried. You will find your processor sooner or later, as long as you're ready and looking for it.
All right, and so starting a cannabis business, is this as easy as filing your paperwork with the the local business license and city hall and stuff, or is it
depending on THC or CBD. THC is always going to be harder. It's always going to take a lot more money. The hemp and CBD market's a little more open, so I would suggest it's so broad right now. If everybody's coming into it, and it is a great market because it just helps so many people. From my family to yours, it will literally help. I suggest it.
So with hemp being so big and CBD being so big, and there being so many options on what kind of CBD goes into stuff, how did you choose on whether or not to go between CBD derived from cannabis or CBD derived from hemp?
Well, the hemp-derived CBD is just more abundant as well. And so it's going to be a lot more available to come out with the hemp CBD opposed to the cannabis CBD, just because the cannabis CBD is usually distillated to the THC side. So extracting the crude, and it's just a whole nother process that I don't think people are currently up on, or I'm not even sure about that, if they can reprocess it after they distillate the THC.
Well, let me ask you this, because I don't know. Is there any difference between CBD derived from cannabis and CBD derived from hemp other than the law?
I know that they can derive it from THC, but it's just not likely.
But I don't think that they can tell the difference.
I don't think they can.
I don't think there's a test. It's like
because it's a
hey fucker, this is from fucking hemp, dude.
They don't know.
So.
It's a distillation process. So just like back when people were distilling alcohol, so they're isolating just that THC out of it, or just that CBD,
right?
And so all the other stuff just gets put to the wayside. All the other cannabinoids and whatnot, terpenes, those mainly just get either isolated out by themselves, or they just they go all into the crude.
The terps, bruh.
So, are you sourcing your own hemp, or are you growing your own hemp?
We source it locally, and we basically source it locally. Actually, a lot of the local farms, since the hemp movement has been coming to play, they've been doing really well. Ventura County has really been booming, so we're right down the street from there, and they have huge farms. So this year is going to be really exciting to see all the hemp coming out and all of our new products as well.
So let's talk about what you have coming up for 2020.
Well, we definitely have some more flavors that I'm excited about. And right now we only have 2 flavors. We have a dark chocolate and in a large and small. And so the large bar has 90 milligrams and our small bar has 22 milligrams. But we're also going to come out with a few new flavors, like we have a raisin almond that's amazing, and a cayenne bar, all dark chocolate.
So you got to go with the cayenne, because the dark chocolate and the cayenne is just such a match made in heaven right there. Now, what is it about cannabis that I guess it just pairs so well with chocolate?
The munchies, first of all. I mean, everyone just relates to it. But then with the CBD, it's really just a great delivery service, because it's really familiar to everybody. Like, everybody has an experience with chocolate from being a kid. So it's easier than, let's say, a tincture where you're questioning it more so. That's what I feel like. And just the basic, you get both in one. You get your medicine and you get your munchie at the same time.
So, I mean, before there was Happy J's CBD, you obviously were experimenting with products before. Was there ever a chocolate bar that was THC infused? Like, could you catch that at the sesh?
Yeah, definitely. At the collective, that it was part of our collective out in Woodland Hills. It was Hillside Healthcare, and we definitely had chocolate bars only with THC. And once the licensing just started to get so rough in the THC market, I basically said, if I'm starting to brand it, I might as well just try to help as many people as possible. And the CBD market, I'm able to ship it to my aunt in Atlanta at the moment. And so she gets the benefits of the CBD, and it's helped her get through her depression as well as her arthritis. And, family first. So I started with a lot with family, and then it just got so popular. And the chocolate is so good that I started getting requests. And when I branded it, it was over with. Everyone just loved it, and everyone.
What is the name Happy J? Is it Happy Jeremy's?
Exactly.
So you this guy Smiley.
That's right.
Look at this smiling over there. Always in a good mood. CBD to the core.
Right.
So you also have done some events. That's really where I met you and learned about your brand was through some of those Cannabis catered events and some of those pop-up sessions and stuff like that. So
we do a vegan chocolate bar. So we bring out a bunch of strawberries, bananas, some pretzels, and we vegan fondue it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so we have a nice vegan recipe that we make the fondue, so it's just amazing. So everyone gets to try our chocolate melted down with some. My favorite is with bananas.
Damn,
chocolate and bananas just pair so amazing. The strawberries
melted chocolate with marshmallow, man. That's the
s'mores,
truth right there. So how does somebody reserve you for a dinner party to do the CBD chocolate fountain?
You can get a hold of us either through our website or through Instagram.
That's what's up. So what's the next event you guys are going to be at?
We don't have one coming up. Right now it's chocolate season, so we are just slammed with orders.
Right, I can imagine. Yeah.
So between Halloween and Christmas coming
no pumpkin
up,
spice, right?
Maybe.
I haven't tasted that one myself.
When those white girls start coming,
right? Whoa.
Yeah. He'll pull out the pumpkin spice.
Oh, damn.
Once I taste it myself, I have to approve it. But we do have a bunch of other products coming up, and we actually have a holiday gift box available with Hakuna Hemp Cafe.
Oh, shout out to Hakuna. Those guys are the truth.
Yeah.
They came in here before for 2 interviews with their tea.
Yeah,
and
their coffee.
Promoting the coffee events too.
Yes.
And then the gift boxes they have with the custom logos.
Yeah, so we have a holiday gift box currently with them. Shout out to them. And it comes with a few bars, some coffee, some dried fruit, and it's just a perfect, under the tree or just holiday gift right now.
Should we try some chocolate?
I've already ate half a bar already.
Brother.
Here, you need to try some.
No, you got that one open right there, right?
It has me very relaxed.
Perfect. Perfect.
I feel good.
But let's hold that one up for the camera while I have a little dinner on the radio. So, dark chocolate. Melting that chocolate. Using that as a topping would be so simple.
Right.
That's what I love about Belgian chocolate right there, man.
Right. That taste.
Silky smooth. So if you've ever...
And we possibly we're sourcing some chocolate from Ecuador right now for a little more medicinal blend with a little less sugar for those sugar-sensitive people out there, since we are dealing with a lot of elderly.
The Ecuadorian chocolate is a little more bitter, a little bit more got that fruity notes to it.
Right, and it's a little
floral,
richer,
real floral,
real richer. But it's amazing, to tell you the truth. And I've been trying it, and we've been talking to the distributor out there. So look out for some of our darker, healthier, even darker, a little bit healthier, and sugar-free and soy lectin-free bars coming out as well. We have some big stuff coming out for everyone.
What goes into choosing your flavors?
It's personal, to tell you the truth. So whatever I've tried, and whatever, sometimes we have a little R&D session where, the family will come together and put together what we've liked in the past, and then we've just tried. So basically, we're still open to new ideas. I'm not, I'm not shut down on new flavors. That's pumpkin spice. It definitely piqued my interest.
The seasonal pumpkin spice.
Right, next year,
have all the Beckys going crazy.
Hey.
Oh my God!
I got the pumpkin spice
All day. Become the Starbucks.
And with with just the abundance of hemp coming out right now, you should, it's just the products are. You have to be careful because the products are going to come abundantly with a lot of different brands out here. So we're looking to be more of a household brand that you can trust, all tested with QR codes on the back of all of our bars, so you can literally put your phone up to it and it just pops up right to
all the
testing.
COAs and everything.
To all the COAs and all the testing, and that way you can feel comfortable with our brand. That way when we come out with different flavors or other products, like we're going to come out with some hemp cigarettes. So it'll be Happy J's hemp sticks coming out soon.
Nice. See, all right. So you pair a couple products together.
Exactly. So you can have a little chocolate and a smoke.
So we're rounding up towards the end of the show. I want to give a big thank you to MartyJuana for coming on. But before we take off, I want to get your current state of the industry and what do you think's going on with the CBD market? Is this something that's? I mean, are we at the bubble right now? Is it peaked? Is it on downhill?
No, I think it's only going uphill, to tell you the truth. What I've been hearing with investors and just bigger companies, everybody is coming into it, and there's going to just be an abundance of hemp that unfortunately people aren't ready to deal with. But
so the price of hemp's going to fall.
I'm going to make some hemp Jordans.
I do believe the price of hemp is going to fall a little bit, but it's just because of the fact that they weren't ready for their production. Unfortunately, they weren't ready to process it correctly, to cure it, to dry it. They just have a big pile. So
managing the problems that goes along with hemp is a lot more difficult when you're doing that shit by the
especially
acre.
at that level. It's just people, per acre, it's a lot different. Instead of
do you get to visit a lot of hemp farms?
Recently, I have been actually, just because we're looking to source some hemp, some quality hemp, and we've been looking locally. And I have been to some of the bigger ones, and it is amazing to see. It's like nirvana.
Walking through those hemp fields.
Whoa.
Now, your chocolate's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
You're doing it for the people, and you come from the culture. You're not just a new suit that came in here and tried to infuse chocolate, because there's so many people just copying chocolate right now. But you're doing it for real. So we salute you. We're glad you came in, and we're looking forward to your next event so we can try some more of your chocolate. For now, go check them out online. Order some chocolate. They can ship nationwide, right?
Yes, sir.
So
get all the way to Florida and New York.
So we want to thank everyone for listening. A big shout out to MartyJuana Farms, and you can tune in every week. We'll keep you educated and medicated. Farm to Table Cannabis, DFC Radio, High Times TV. Stay tuned for the Heavy Tea Grow Show.
Let's go.
Cook up that hydro make me feel high, feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high, feeling so high. Chefs in the kitchen and they chopping up hydro. The hydro chefs in the building and they rolling up hydro. Hydro's in the kitchen.